Welcome back to SRL TV on a Wednesday night, a cool Wednesday night here in Penrith, Panthers Park, for this bottom of the table clash, round 6 in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. The Panthers at home to take on the Parramatta Eels. Liam Ryan in the commentary box with me tonight. And Liam, the Panthers are on a 7-game losing streak. The Eels on a 2-game losing streak. The Eels, technically their season's still afloat. What do they need to do to assure their chances of getting into finals footy for season 3?
Oh, the Eels need a huge win tonight, mate, if they want any chance at finals. And for Penrith, they want to break this 7-game losing streak that they're on from last season. So if there's a lot up for stake, I reckon this will be a really close match.
Interesting. Do they want to lose that 7-game streak, or do they want to equal with Manly that 8-game streak in a row? Either way, the game is underway. Charlie Butler sending it deep down into the hands of Lachlan Sinclair, who brings it back from the Panthers, going right to left in this opening 40 minutes. And a fast start is what the Panthers will be hoping for. A couple of changes to their side this week. Most notably, it's Brodie Kennedy who goes back to that fullback position. James Thorne and Anthony Delaney will be pairing up in the halves for the first time. Looks like Delaney will be looking to get that starting half position for season 4. And Tim Ball getting his first start in the second row. Jordan Williams on the bench, Declan Murphy, obviously his last season in the SRL. So a lot of changes for the Panthers. But they'll be hoping to see those changes come to fruition as Shelford busts through the middle. But Nathan Fisher grabbed him pretty easily there, Liam.
Yeah, that was a really, really good run, though, from Damien Shelford. If he had a little bit more speed, I could have seen him going off there. But, yeah, that was a good set from Penrith, too. Just needed to keep Shelford there, and it would have been a really good kick test.
Manly continuing with this, I guess, this trial of Damien Shelford in the number 1 jumper, with Eli Barnes continuing in the halves as Durant slices through the middle, taken down well, and a good tackle by Kennedy had to be made. Only a couple of metres out here, the Parramatta Eels, as Butler takes on the line. He's tall, he's strong, but he's rolled onto his back. Good defence from Penrith.
Good job there by Penrith, eh? Mark Lee on the tackle, got him onto his back. That's a really good defence there, holding a big man in Charlie Butler up.
Defensively, one of the best players in the competition, Mark Lee, has had a good season for Penrith since he's I guess, established himself in that starting role. It's taken him a couple of seasons, but really stepping up as one of the leaders at the bottom of the mountains for that Panthers side. Mallard gets away from the first tackle. It was number 3 from Parramatta, Ethan Durant, who was outshone in that run. As Davis this time pumping the legs with White up around the knees. They cut out Mallard and go to Bradford this time. Final tackle, good defensive set by Parramatta, forcing the Panthers deep, kicking from their own 30 down to Shelford, who's hovering back there, but it's a good chase from the Panthers, number 11. That's Sean Bradford, keeping the Eels in their half. Good opening couple of sets by both sides, Liam.
Yeah, really good sets by both sides. They probably just need a little bit of more defensively. But yeah, it's a really good attacking style of footy. Neither team have anything to lose here. So it's really good to see both sides having this really attacking mindset.
Humid conditions here in Penrith. I arrived earlier on this evening and very warm conditions outside. It'll be interesting to see how that'll affect the players later in the second half as Sinclair ricochets off the leg. White collects it and darts just to the right of the uprights, and Parramatta open the scoring after just 7 minutes.
Yeah, Jaden White, speedy, and collects the little ball. Was it Samuel Atchison with the kick? It came off.
Hayden Davis.
I think that was Taven. No,
Sinclair.
Who's number 8? Is it Sinclair? Yeah, it came off Sinclair, and Jaden White comes to collect, showing off his speed, and scores almost straight under the post.
Good turn of pace there from the new Parramatta number 9. Sam Atchison getting his first game for Parramatta tonight. That trade during the week with Canberra. But he's finding himself in the number 13 jumper tonight. So not sure if we've seen Samuel Atchison at the lock position for Canberra in the past. But we'll wait and see how he performs. But Jaden White in the 9, a good start for him. I know yet to sign with Parramatta for season 4. Interesting to see where he does go. So 8 minutes gone here at Panthers Park. Jaden White to open the scoring. Good kick by Charlie Butler, ricocheting off the legs of Lachlan Sinclair. Charlie Butler is one player that the Eels desperately need to find some form. You know, making his debut towards the end of season 1 and starring in that semi-final win and also that grand final. But since then, hasn't really had enough big games to really stamp his mark in the SRL, Liam.
Yeah, Charlie Butler, he's just been I think he's had a bit of an unlucky time since. He's been solid, but he just hadn't taken his career to a new level.
And
what's happening here?
Sorry, Liam. I thought Eli Barnes had scored for a moment there. I thought Brodie Kennedy first he had taken the catch, and then I don't know, are we going to get a replay or not? I'm not too sure what's happened there.
That's his second.
I was actually looking down at the cheerleaders. I got a little bit distracted, so I don't know. I got no idea, Liam. Anyway, the Panthers have won themselves a penalty inside the Parramatta half, so an opportunity for James Thorne, another half who finds himself under a lot of pressure. Has been announced that he will be leaving Penrith at the end of the season. Any ideas on a club that could do with a player with the abilities of James Thorne? Obviously he's a gold-rated player, so it comes at a cost, but 67 rated overall, Liam. Where could you see James Thorne fitting in?
I think James Thorne could really fit in at a club like the Warriors. I mean, they've got I think it just looks perfect there. I mean, there's not many clubs though that need a half that I can absolutely say they absolutely need a half. But it's difficult. I think the Warriors is probably his best fit.
Warriors don't have a backup half at the moment. It's just Jai McCartney and Josh Corcoran, arguably two players who are growing week to week in that role. But an experienced player like James Thorne would definitely help a young player like Josh Corcoran, his first year in the SRL, and that experience around them would definitely do them a well of good. But also you look, Patrick Corcoran, the regular Warriors hooker, has been playing in the number 13 jumper the last couple of rounds, with Logan Strange coming off the bench, and that seems to be working quite well. So possibly a role for James Thorne as a hooker at the Warriors.
Maybe, yeah, not a bad idea.
Something that I'm sure Chance Bunce, Jai McCartney and Patrick Corcoran, the leadership team at the Warriors, will be considering as Bradford steals an extra couple of metres. The Panthers struggling to get their way down into Parramatta territory as they send it across to Xavier Demando, a player that has played very well in his opening season in the SRL. 3 tries to his name already, and definitely as a contender for one of the rookies of the season, Xavier Demando.
Yeah, Xavier Demando, what a season he's had. He's been so good on this left edge for Parramatta. Yeah, definitely one of the contenders for Rookie of the Year. 15
line breaks for the season. You know, just below the likes of Thomas Mendonca and Bunty Kimbolo. So definitely a good pickup by Parramatta this season. It's the final tackles. Butler can't get a kick away, so another final tackled option that doesn't come off for Parramatta.
Tell you what, yeah, that needs to be fixed up.
Sorry, carry on there.
That needs to be fixed up by both sides. There's been some really poor last tackle options by both sides, and it will need to be fixed up. I'm sure both captains will make it clear.
That's tackle 4, hands off.
We've already mentioned it's James Thorne partnering up with young Anthony Delaney tonight, and Delaney transferring or trading from the Broncos earlier in the season. As Delaney, we talk about it, searching for that 40-20. Kelly does well to get back and catches it just about a metre or so in from the sideline. The Panthers obviously losing Jack Cahill to the Panthers earlier in the season. They gained Anthony Delaney. He's been starting from the bench since that trade, but getting his first chance in the starting jumper here tonight, and he'll be relishing playing against an experienced player like James Thorne.
Yeah, definitely will. Like, it's a big game for him.
And they go back to the pocket. Barnes will kick again. This time to the wing of Fisher, who did well in his first return. That first set of the game, can't get away from the Eels defence this time. As Taj Seabold chased well and chopped him down. The Panthers' former skipper inside the 20. They stayed the left side through Sinclair. Hard to stop, no support players around him as Lee asked for a quick play the ball, also asking the referee for a penalty. Doesn't get it as Kennedy. Up into the centre field, 33 metres out to Bradford. Another good charge by Sean Bradford, who's been busy in this opening 40 minutes for the Panthers. Lee back to the pocket for Delaney, trying a short, shallow kick, chasing through his saddle cart, takes it well, but it's Charlie Butler who wraps him up around the shoulders, and the Eels get the ball back on their own 20.
Here's tackle 1. Hill.
Good set by Penrith there. Like, that was just a good set. They got downfield, got to a kick, put it up, almost got the ball back, and possibly could have scored there. That was a really nice set from Penrith.
Right, that's a third.
Looking to form those combinations. Obviously a few changes in that back line. Hayden Mallard has been one of the standout performers this season. Josh Saddle-Cart, I know that the Panthers are looking to re-sign him over the coming days, a future prospect
Hit the last.
at the Panthers club. Obviously Nathan Fisher and Brodie Kennedy, stalwarts at the club since season 1, as Barnes, again with the kicking duties, sends it across to Robbie Elms.
He's held there.
I know Lachlan Martin was trying to re-sign Robbie Elms during the week, a key cog in Manly's, in Penrith's season 4 aspirations. I mean, it must be frustrating being in the position that Lachlan Martin and Mark Lee and that leadership team are in. 5 losses to start the season, coming off 2 losses to end season 2, 7 losses in a row for the Panthers. You know, what do you do in that situation, Liam? I know you're not finding yourself in that situation at the moment, but if you were to put yourself in the shoes of Lachlan Martin, what do you need to do to change what's happening on the park?
I think they need to build a bit of a winning culture there at Penrith. I mean, they've lost some of those. I think they've lost a couple of those players that really built a winning culture there. And there's just some players out of form, but I think that they're just going to build a winning culture and be signing some players who know how to win, and then be able to try and build that winning culture, and then you'll be able to have players that know what they're doing, know how to win, and can win your football games when it's tough.
Good charge, Samuel Etchison, the meter at the Eels. Looking to press here as Butler on the toe, coming through. Mark Lee gives it to Ollie Pace, and the Panthers somehow get out of the woods on that one. 24.5 minutes gone. It's the Eels still winning 6 points to 0. The Panthers haven't had many opportunities so far in this game, Liam.
Yeah, Penrith, they've been suffocated for most of the game. I think Brodie Kennedy's tried really hard, but it just hasn't been really enough at this point. But I think their forwards are trying really hard, and I think once this power forward pack tires, maybe we could see Brodie Kennedy explode.
There's Delaney, sends it down for a crossfield. Xavier Demando coming into contact to bring it back to the 40 for Parramatta. Big tackle on Shelford. Not sure who that was. Could have been Ollie Pace,
Back to 10.
who just dropped the shoulder. And Shelford does not look healthy at all, Liam. He is struggling in the back line. He is not used to being hit with that much force. Hutchison taking it forward. Good pickup by Parramatta. Gets it back into the season. Obviously Tim James, the senior leader for the Eels, but Hutchison equally as good on the field.
Yeah, that's a good pickup by Parramatta of Samuel Atchison at lock. It's been a really nice position for him. I think he's been ball playing really nicely and showing why he's came to Parramatta.
Can you think of another player that might be a similar archetype or player build to Sam Atchison, currently playing in that number 13 role in the SRL?
I don't think there's any player that I could really compare him to, because I don't really think there's anyone like him, because he's kind of a smaller build than most locks. So, and I don't think any club has really tried this ball playing lock move. So it's a really it's really interesting, and I actually really like the move.
You know, I was going to agree with you for a moment, but then it made me think of Patrick Corcoran, who has been the Warriors hooker for the last season or so, but has played the last couple of games at 13, and he's probably the only player that I can think of that's, you know, primary position is that hooker role that has moved into that lock, their secondary position, and has transitioned rather well.
Yeah, for sure.
So 30 minutes gone here at Panthers Park. Neither side really clicking into second gear at the moment. It's just kick for kick as Elms will return this time. Another good chase from the Parramatta outside backs. In fact, it was Eli Barnes leading that one. Who do you see as the dangerous player for Penrith, Liam? And you know, Brody Kennedy obviously is one of them, but who else could break it open here for the Panthers?
I think Jordan Williams, who's on the park right now. James Thorne's ball playing could maybe do something. I think one of them two with either Jordan Williams running or it's going to be James Thorne's ball playing.
Injury prone Jordan Williams had a horror run of injuries so far in his SRL career.
That's one. Move.
As we see Taj Seabold come down with that good take. There's Kelly jinxing back on the right. Too much speed at the back for Brody Kennedy, and Kelly just sparks out of nowhere, and the Parramatta Eels cross under the post for their second try.
Yeah, Joey Kelly, what a player. He just pops up in the right moments. We saw him do it in Origin. He just pops up and steps through with absolute ease. There's no worries for that player. He's just too good.
Out of nothing, he's in a quiet opening 32 or so minutes of the first half, but all of a sudden just exploding through that Panthers line, and the acceleration off the mark was too much for Brody Kennedy. Butler converts. 12 points to 0, approaching half time here at Penrith. The Simulation Rugby League Premiership close soon, entering its 4th season of competition. Rugby League's fastest growing eSports league. Join the Discord. It's in the description. Come and be the player. The SRL Mines, the minor league. Liam, did you see the first round of the Mines on Monday night?
Did, mate. It was so exciting to watch. There was so many new players, and it's just so exciting to see these new players coming through. I mean, there's so many players that I'm just like, oh wow, what players. I could love seeing them in my SRL, in the Rabbitohs system. Like, it's so exciting.
Yeah, 36 young guns set to ignite their careers. I know for a fact that a few of them have been approached by captains after just one round of SRL Mines competition. So anyone out there that's watching this right now, if you have not joined the SRL yet, you are missing out big time. If you're a rugby league fan, if you love a little bit of competition, and you can see yourself being down that field right now, then you need to join the SRL Premiership. Get placed into the SRL Mines, which is our minor league reserve grade, and then hopefully get traded or brought up into one of those SRL teams in the off-season. Couple of minutes till half-time here at Penrith Park. The home team struggling at the moment. Thorne from inside his own 40. Can't find the sideline. Demando does back, stretching backwards and grabbing that one on the fingertips. That's Settendag. Parramatta Eels. One of their leadership players, Attila Settendag. A good run by him. This time it's Abraham Walker donning the blue hair underneath the red and blue headgear. You can't quite see it with the headgear on. It's quite funny when people create their player and they give their player blue hair and then they add a headgear as an accessory. Rather hilarious. As Butler will put it high. Coming through as Kennedy does well and attacks that ball. In fact, it's Robbie Elms attacking it from about 20 metres out, and the confidence to go up at that speed. Kind of shows the mindset he's in. Desperation for the Penrith Panthers, knowing they just don't want to go throughout the whole season without a win.
It would be sad to go 0-7, wouldn't it? Like
It would, Liam. You know, but it's the SRL. It's the hardest eSports rugby league competition in the world. And, you know, to just be in this position is an accomplishment by itself. But nevertheless, no one wants to keep winning. But it's half-time here at Panthers Park as the siren's about to sound. Joey Kelly wants to have something to do with it. But it's 12 points to nil. It's the Parramatta Eels out in front at the moment. Welcome back to Panthers Park here on a Wednesday evening, sorry. It's the away team holding a 12-point lead at the moment. Liam Ryan is still downstairs with the teams, but the game is back underway. The Eels with the first touch for the second half. When Liam gets back up into the commentary box, we'll wait to see what Lachlan Martin had to say at half-time. But it's Jacob Reynolds who is on for Parramatta. He made his way on for Abraham Walker. Looks like Stephen Cross has come on for Attila Settendag as well. Yeah, Stephen Cross on for Settendag as the Eels have made a mistake. Liam's just entering the room right now, just in time as the Panthers are on attack. As Sinclair, the big prop forward, pumping the legs, trying to build something here for the Panthers as they come right to Thorne. Kennedy cuts out to Elms, and the Panthers do score first in the second half. Robbie Elms, just when they needed it, stepping up, the veteran, crossing for the Panthers' first try of the afternoon.
What a try there from Robbie Elms. Just steps through the line, and he's just Robbie Elms. He steps up tonight when it's needed after a huge Hayden Davis intercept. That's what the Penrith Panthers needed.
Fourth try of his career, second of the season. Mark Lee sends it straight through the posts. Maintains his 100% kicking record for the season. And we are back to a 6-point ball game. Just the start Penrith needed in the second half, Liam.
Yeah, mate, that was a brilliant start for Penrith. Exactly what Lachlan Martin would have wanted. He would have been absolutely stoked with that start after that try from Robbie Elms.
And what was the message at half-time, Liam? I know you spent a bit of time down in both locker rooms. Firstly, the Panthers, what they have to say?
Lachlan Martin just wanted to keep it simple. He wanted them to just play their natural game of footy. He just wanted them, he knows they have nothing to lose. He just wants them to throw the ball around a bit and just have some fun out there, play their best footy, get back to the basics, and the win will come their way.
Luke Short, obviously it's his third game in charge of Parramatta since taking over from Eli Barnes mid-season. is rumoured to be losing a few players at the end of season 3. But what was he saying in the locker rooms, Liam? I know he was a very vocal player.
Yeah, Luke Short, he was very vocal about it. He said it was a very good first half from them. He just wants them going to their last tackle options to be a bit better, because at times he thought they were very poor.
Eli Barnes and Charlie Butler still working on their combinations. The second time that they have combined in the halves. Completely new situation for Eli Barnes after spending the first 2.5 seasons of his SRL career at that fullback role. Tackle 5 here for Parramatta. Centre field about 34 metres out. It's Barnes who kicks to the wing of Fisher. Gets inside 1, but he's taken down by Barnes, who chases well, and offside at the play of the ball. So Sinclair charging forward. Been busy in the first 40 minutes. Lachlan Sinclair over 100 metres already.
Penrith need a break here.
He's held there. That's tackle 4, hands off.
They do. They need to look to some of their senior players. It's Nathan Fisher really is a player who needs to step up. As Delaney looking for the 40-20. Can't quite beat it. Shelford does extremely well to hold his line and stay inside the field of play, tiptoeing down that right-hand sideline. Luckily, it's dry conditions here at Penrith. No moisture to contend with. But a good kick by Anthony Delaney, turning round the Parramatta defensive line.
Beautiful hands of passing there. 3 passes from after a break. It's really good from Parramatta.
You mentioned Nathan Fisher as one player that they'll be looking to step up for the Panthers. Mark Lee leading the competition for try assists with 6 for the season. Knows how to send his big forwards over the try line, that's for sure.
Mark Lee, what a season he's had. He's had an amazing season. Looking to really get a win. Even though Penrith have been really poor at times, he's been awesome. Like, Mark Lee's been doing anything he can for Penrith to win.
He has. He's been really stepping up and doing what he can, both on and off the field. He's taken that one of those leadership roles with Lachlan Martin, and I know they're being very aggressive with their off-season signings for season 4. I know they've made some tough calls as well. Announced during the week that James Thorne will no longer be required at Penrith for season 4, and possibly the first time that we've heard a captain dropping a gold-rated player. As we see Lachlan Martin go down, not a good sign for the Panthers captain. He is clutching his right elbow. That was a big hit, trying to jar the ball free of Sam Atchison, but he's come off second best, and Lachlan Martin has come from the field.
Not good for Lachlan Martin.
As we see Parramatta lose the ball this time, Hayden Mallard picks up the dregs. Lee from dummy half. As we see a high tackle on Mark Lee. It was Damien Shelford. The tackle just slipping up from the chest, up around the neck. And the Panthers will take an attempted 2 points. About 22 metres out. But what's the story with Lachlan Martin, Liam?
Yeah, Lachlan Martin, he's came off with the physio said on the sideline that he's came off with a suspected broken arm. It doesn't look good for Lachlan Martin. His night's probably over.
His night will definitely be over with a broken arm. I mean, does that mean his season could be over? I mean, a broken arm, that's a couple of months recovery there, Liam. I mean, we have seen the unthinkable here in the SRL where players seem to recover within, sort of 4 or 5 days and find themselves on the bench the following week. But a broken arm, Liam, I don't know if he can recover from that.
Right, here's tackle 1.
It's difficult, but we know we have some of the best SRL doctors in the SRL that we've ever seen. So I think he'll be able to recover and make it a play on the bench next week.
Definitely, as Bradford takes it forward. So Panthers clawing their way back in the opening 13.5 minutes of the second half. Half time, it was 12 points to 0. Parramatta out in front. A try and a converted try and a penalty sees the Panthers only 4 points behind. But a knock on from Hayden Davis on the halfway line, not the sign the Panthers want to see.
Release.
It's that consistency that has continually letting them down this season.
He's held there. Get off him. That's your second. Held. Right, that's the third.
There's the Eels. Trying to set it up centre field here. You can see Jaden White just directing his players around. They check Lillard to the left. Now they come to Stephen Cross. Looks like they're setting up for a field goal, which I don't think they will be, but they're definitely playing like at the moment as Shelford comes through. I tell you what, they'll set it up absolutely perfectly. Jaden White, Charlie Butler, then Damien Shelford. The Eels cross for their third of the game.
What a kick from Charlie Butler. Luke Short told them at halftime, get their kicking options right. Charlie Butler does exactly that right there. Shelford goes straight under with a beautiful kick from Charlie Butler.
His second assist of the game, his 7th of the season, sees him overtake Mark Lee, who we just mentioned earlier on, who was top of the table. What a battle that is, Mark Lee and Charlie Butler. Both controlling their teams here tonight. Butler converts 3 from 3. Parramatta out to a 10-point lead once again.
Be interesting to see if Mark Lee can get if Penrith score again, can Mark Lee tie that record with Charlie Butler?
We've got a bit of a gap between them now. It's in behind Mark Lee and Charlie Butler on the try assists for the season. Cherry Evans and Jack O'Neill. Levi Raymond is up there. I mean, Levi Raymond, I think he had 4 try assists in the first game of the season. Currently sitting on 5 overall, so Isaac Edwards, Rohan Kaval, Jake Tuss in the top 10, Josh Butterfield and Ash Crutcher. One of your standouts for the season, Liam Ash Crutcher, combining well with Isaac Edwards. We'll obviously be looking to sign them up on a long-term contract at the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I think Jai's looking to do that. But yeah, Jake Tash, you mentioned him, he's in the top 10, which doesn't surprise me because he's been playing really well in this ball-playing lock-up role. But it's been rumoured that he's signed overseas in a huge money contract.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously the rumours are that he will be leaving the SRL at the end of the season, been offered a contract overseas at a rival competition. It'll be a big loss, not just to the SRL, but not just to the Rabbitohs, but the SRL in general. He's a season 1 veteran, one of the first to join up with the SRL, but it's the rigours of the SRL that really test, you know, a personality, as we see Delaney, a little bit of inexperience there, trying to go down that sideline, and a couple of Parramatta players just coming in on him and pushing him across into touch. Taj Seabold,
That was
one of them.
good from Para there. Shelford, sorry, he pushed him across. That was really good tackling technique from him.
So Parramatta looking to drive the dagger deep down to Penrith's heart. 20 minutes remaining, the final quarter of the game as Shelford steps away from, I think it could have been Hayden Mallard or Saddle Cart in fact, as Reynolds charges on to a good flat ball from Jaden White. The Eels looking to seal it here away from home. 7 metres out, about 3 or 4 metres to the left of the uprights. White decides to go open side. Butler on the toe. Shelford has dived about 2 metres before the line. I think hoping that momentum would have got him over. Unfortunately, there's no dew or no moisture around today, Liam.
Yeah, it was unlucky there was no dew there. I reckon he would have slid straight into the try line if there was a bit of dew there.
As Thorne finds Kennedy on the inside. They have contained Brodie Kennedy extremely well tonight. The Parramatta Eels has been largely unnoticed at the back. The leading try scorer in the SRL is Delaney, again searching for that 40-20. It's the 3rd time looking for that right edge of Parramatta, can't find it. The bounce of the ball is just not working for Penrith at the moment. As Settendag finds Butler, good off there from Attila Settendag. Easy metres at the moment, only the 2nd tackle now for Parramatta as they make their way into Penrith's half. A knock on from, it could have been number 12, Abraham Walker I think it was, and the Panthers have leaned it up the hook as Kennedy strikes through the middle. Kennedy, no one in front of him. Walker's chasing. Seabold and Durant are there, but Kennedy has too much speed and he will go into the post, and the Panthers say they are not done with yet.
Is this the turning point of the game? Brodie Kennedy sprints off. I think Shelford was at quarter marker. That error from Parramatta, could it be costly? They were making easy metres and made a silly error. Maybe they regret that later.
7th try of the season for Brodie Kennedy. Moves 2 clear of his nearest rival, Sam Herbin and Isaac Simons. Averaging 197 run metres per game. Mark Lee converts. 18 points to 14 as we approach 15 minutes remaining. Here, the final game of round 6 in the SRL. A reminder, next week, it's the last round of regular season where we hope to find, or where we will find, the 4 teams who will play finals footy for season 3. Manly already securing their spot.
Let him go.
The Cowboys with that loss tonight still teetering on the edge. Would need things to go horribly wrong next week for them to miss out.
He's held there. 3. Hands off.
But with Parramatta winning tonight, if they can hold on to Penrith, there will be 5 teams vying for 2 positions. Rabbitohs, Warriors, Broncos, Raiders and Eels.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting next week. I think there will be one of the biggest rounds of SRL I've ever seen. All 5 teams will be heavily competing for those spots.
Good kick there from Saddle Cart. Kelly returns it. Yeah, next week's a big round of competition to wrap up the regular season for the SRL. It's the Seagulls taking on the Warriors live from Brookvale Oval. That launches Tuesday night. Obviously the Seagulls unbeaten for the season. A big win against the Cowboys earlier on tonight. The Warriors not necessarily needing to win that game, but you know, if they want to have a confidence going into the rest of the round, they need to try and break that Manly winning streak. Next up on the Tuesday night next week, it's the Parramatta Eels taking on the Cowboys. Again, that'll be a difficult clash for Parramatta. The Cowboys looking to secure a home or a top 2 berth. meaning they get that extra chance if they lose that first semi-final. Then on Wednesday night, it's a big game. It's a big night of action. 4 teams heavily in the hunt for finals footy, starting with the Panthers and the Raiders, and then the Broncos taking on the Rabbitohs. It'll be a big game to end regular season, Liam.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge round of footy. I think the Rabbitohs and Cowboys vying for second place. It's going to be huge. I think those 2 games are going to be really good games, and I think actually all 4 games will be really close.
Panthers still trying everything they can to get down the end of Parramatta. Desperately in need to break this losing streak. 7 games in a row, stretching back the last 2 games of season 2, where they narrowly missed out on the finals for the 2nd season in a row, finishing 5th. A horror run of luck for Penrith, but it's Atchison who puts it high. I thought for a moment Kennedy was going to let it bounce, but he does well on the charge, and the Panthers out to the 20 for the restart.
That was a bit unlucky for Brodie Kennedy. I thought he was going to be away if he wasn't in the in goal, because it looked like he stepped through a couple and it looked like he was going to be away, but unlucky for him.
I did think Brodie Kennedy was just outside the in goal when he caught it, but referee is closer than I am, so I guess we'll just go with what referee Rasmussen has to say. It's Settle Cart to play the ball on that far side as they come near us. Centre field. Great view here up in the commentary box. We hope you're enjoying this Simulation Rugby League live stream experience as the Panthers hunt the Eels. 4 points down at the moment. Kennedy gets away from Butler. Final tackle, 10 out. They go to Thorne to put it up. James Thorne batted back to Brodie Kennedy, and he does. The veteran fullback goes in for a 2nd try at the game, and the Panthers level it up here at Panthers Park. Kick to come.
What a try! Brodie Kennedy in the right place at the right time. Gets his 8th try of the season. What a season for Brodie Kennedy, trying absolutely everything he can to get this Penrith side home.
An inspirational 10 minutes from the veteran fullback. James Thorne putting up a pinpoint kick. Pulled the strings well, and Mark Lee converts, and the Panthers are in front here at home. And look at the crowd, everyone on their feet as they egg their team home to get their first win of the season. 6.5 minutes remaining.
This is huge for Penrith fans. They want this win so badly. It's a huge 6 minutes. Penrith fans will cheer them home, I reckon.
Panthers looking for no mistakes in this set. A solid set. Get down the under end of the field. Gets that kick, and just as I say that, they've coughed it up. Cross comes away with it. The commentator's curse. Shouldn't have said anything. The Eels, an opportunity to strike back with a couple remaining. On the 10, White goes right to Barnes. Good tackle by the Panthers. Compressed defence at the moment. Wide to Abraham Walker, and Walker will break the heart of the Panthers.
Wow. Scores straight away almost after Brodie Kennedy dops over at the other end. This may break Penrith's hearts. Their hearts have been broken so much from in these last 5 or so weeks. I just have to feel sorry for them.
Time and time again, they have lost the lead in the last 10 or so minutes. They took the lead about 2 or 3 minutes ago, but it's Abraham Walker who crosses over for Parramatta. Has had a good game so far here tonight, over 120 metres for the game. That's his first try in the SRL as well, so big ups to Abraham Walker. But the Panthers needing to force an error here. The Eels, they need to get to the end of their set.
We talked about it. They both sides, they need to do what Penrith needed to do. Can they do it?
Panthers will get one set left, one set remaining. They'll get a kick return at the end of this Eels set. Who do you go to? Robbie Elms, Nathan Fisher, Brodie Kennedy, surely one of the wingers. As we see a knock on, big hit by Mark Lee on Sam Lillard, and Mallet comes away with it. Delaney comes away down to the Parramatta 40. I'd have to say I would have loved to have seen Nathan Fisher return that kick return.
I personally, to your question, I probably personally would have kicked down to Robbie Elms.
Robbie Elms, one of the most dangerous players on the wings for sure. As Lee decides to set it up. 15 metres out, tackle 4. The Panthers needing a good run here from Thorne. Throws the dummy, makes his way up to the 10. But the Panthers, and they get the penalty. And they go for the 2. What are you doing?
What are they doing?
I'm so sorry to all Penrith fans out there.
What are they doing here? They're taking the 2. What's this going to do? They're going to be behind 2. I don't get this. They probably had 3 more tackles at Parramatta's line. If they score, it's 24-all. I don't get it.
Unbelievable decision. That's the AI for you, everyone. Unbelievable. I just don't see how that can happen. Right. They'll get 1, possibly 2 plays here, Penrith. Parramatta are going to keep their hopes alive as the siren sounds. They move to 4 points on the Season 3 SRL table, beating the Panthers 24-22. But Liam, all the talk is going to be about that last decision. I don't know who made it. Lachlan Martin was off the field. Surely Lachlan Martin would have gone for the tap. But who made that last call to go for goal?
I don't know. It would have been one of their leaders. Maybe Mark Lee. Mark Lee had such an incredible game. I don't know what whoever it was thinking, though. Like, that's just unexcusable there.
Going for
they could have won that
differential,
game.
maybe. I don't know. Anyway, looking at the stats here, pretty even across the park. To be honest, that was a pretty even game between both sides. A quiet opening 20 minutes that sort of exploded with 2 Parramatta tries. They led 12 points to 0 at half-time. Panthers came back with a try to Robbie Elms and then a penalty to Mark Lee. Back to 12 points to 12 points to 8. And then a Parramatta try, 18 points to 8, and then 2 Brodie Kennedy tries put the Panthers out in front. But that late try to Abraham Walker broke the hearts of the Panthers and gave them their 8th loss in a row. Jaden White was announced player of the match. But if we look at some of these stats here, first of all, the Panthers, Brodie Kennedy running for 193 metres, another good performance, especially in the second half, by the Panthers fullback. Who was your standout for the Panthers, Liam?
Oh, it had to be either Brodie Kennedy or Mark Lee. Like, Mark Lee, even though he was a hooker, those are pretty stock standard stats for a hooker. Mark Lee was inspirational. Some of those big hits he had, It was inspirational performance from him, and Brodie Kennedy, he did whatever he could to try and get this Penrith side home. I just got to feel sorry for him.
2 assists for James Thorne, that may be finding a little bit of form towards the back end of the season, which will do him good. Trying to find a team for season 4. So that was confident signs for him. Obviously Lachlan Martin injured early in the second half. Nathan Fisher showed signs, glimpses of what we should be expecting from a winger of his calibre, but again unable to cross the line to lift his Panthers side up above. But I thought Anthony Delaney, his first start for the Panthers, kicking 362 metres, really took control of that Panthers pack on that final tackle. And you have to say that was probably one of their best performances with final tackle options this season.
Yeah, it was a really good performance from Delaney. He was turning those players around, I thought, and he almost had 2 40-20s. You got to remember that Shelford did a terrific job on diffusing both of them. Like, he had an incredible performance for his first start at 5'8".
Who was that? Damien Shelford.
Delaney who was kicking game, and Shelford was really good too.
Xavier Demando having another good game on the wing. Pretty quiet game from Joey Kelly. Obviously did score that 1 try in the first half, but probably a quiet game by his standards. But you look down here, the forwards for Parramatta really not having as much of an impact as you would have liked to have seen from some of those big players. Luke Short, Sam Lillard, Abraham Walker, Attila Settendag. Not really big meters, enough runs, but not really the meters from those players.
Atchison was really good with his ball playing. 2 try assists.
2 try assists for Atchison. 3 errors from Eli Barnes on the halves. Concerning, I'm not too sure if it's concerning. It'd be interesting to see if we see Eli Barnes in the halves next week, with Parramatta's finals hopes on the line. I think Shelford played pretty well at the fullback position, although he doesn't have the speed that we might get from Eli Barnes. So be interesting to see what Luke Short does next week. But that wraps it up here for round 6 in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. Liam, thanks for joining me in the commentary box, and we'll see you all next week live here on SRL TV.